Ladies and gentlemen, this is a CBS report that just came out, and they're saying employers can require you to get a COVID shot. And of course, you know what's going on in the Senate. Mitch McConnell want to make it so you can't sue your employer if you get sick. He doesn't want you to get paid sick leave. And what it does, it ultimately gives all of the power to the employer and very little to none to the employee. I can see this becoming a big legal battle in the country, because it just seems like they're trying to take too much away from you, and that becomes a situation where they don't even care about your safety in the workplace. So this came out on CBS News December 17th, 2020. Employers can bar unvaccinated employees from the workplace, EEOC says. So, according to this, they can make a demand on you to get this shot. And you are not going to be able to say it's my religion, it's this, it's that. Now, if you have a legitimate health pre-existing condition or allergies, yeah, you could probably be excluded. But if you don't have something like that, they can require this, whether you like it or not. So in general, companies do have the legal right to mandate that employees get a COVID-19 shot. And this is the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, EEOC. This is what they said Wednesday. I'm going to go ahead and play this video from CBS News.
The two vaccines waiting for approval from the Food and Drug Administration, business leaders across the country are weighing how they will structure their messaging when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine and their workforce. A new CBS Money Watch article examines if your employer can force you to get vaccinated and just how much influence a company might have over an employee's decision. Let's bring in the author of that article, Megan Cirillo. She joins us now. Megan, is it legal for companies to require employees to get a vaccine?
Hey, Omar. Generally speaking, it is legal for a company to require its employees to become vaccinated. For example, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission already allows employers to require that their employees get the flu vaccine with an asterisk. They must, however, make exceptions for certain employees under the Americans with Disabilities Act and under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act.
Is there any specificity you can give us on who would be exempt?
Sure. So an employee with a medical condition that makes it unsafe for them to receive the vaccine can request an exemption under the Americans with Disabilities Act, and their employer would be required to provide a reasonable accommodation, for example, allowing them to work from home. And that's a pretty easy, that would just require an employee getting a note from their doctor. Employees with sincerely held religious beliefs, for whom it's against their religion to become vaccinated, can also request an exemption under Title VII. The threshold is higher there because they don't want people coming up with bogus religions when it's not something they sincerely believe in.
If an employee does get the vaccine, could companies be held liable if the vaccine later turns out to be ineffective and that employee gets sick?
Sure. Lawyers expect there, first of all, to be a push to insulate companies from liability. Secondly, they won't be the ones administering the vaccine. So your boss isn't going to be, giving you a shot. It'll a third care, a pharmacy like CVS or a healthcare provider will actually administer the vaccine. And any claims would likely be funneled through workers' compensation programs because it would likely be considered an on-the-job injury. So that's not really something that employers need to worry too much about.
I'm sure companies who don't employ frontline workers are watching. the frontline worker companies that are going to have this. Will this set a precedent for what employers can require the employees to do in the event of another worldwide disease and a different vaccine?
Well, the precedent's already been set with the flu vaccine, which is why the EEOC is expected to issue similar guidance vis-a-vis the COVID-19 vaccine. And in the case of another worldwide pandemic or disease, the EEOC would also have to issue separate guidance.
Interesting. Is requiring a vaccine going to end up being the best solution? Or is it going to be better if employers kind of coax their workers or add incentives for them to get it?
So initially, because the vaccine will first become available under emergency use authorization, so it won't have gone through all the usual rounds of approval, it's really unlikely that employers will actually require workers to become vaccinated. What we're likely to see more of is sort of positive reinforcement and companies incentivizing employees to get the vaccine and offering them bonuses or gift cards, for example, because no one wants to work for, it just won't engender goodwill toward a company if you're being mandated to do something. So companies are really going to aim for voluntary compliance before they have to make it mandatory.
Well, it's definitely going to be interesting to see as this vaccine starts to roll out and people start getting it. I mean, we've heard the president and we've heard former presidents say, both parties say they're willing to get the vaccine on camera to show it Dr. Anthony Fauci too. So it will be interesting in the next few weeks. Megan Cirillo, thank you very much for your time.
Y'all, I'm not impressed with people getting vaccines on camera. I really think that's kind of silly. If they really want to show you something, let them show you the moments after they get the shots. Show that. But you getting the shot, what is that supposed to really mean? I can go on YouTube and watch a junkie give themselves a shot. I mean, I'm not impressed. So why don't you show us what happens the moments after you get the shot? Are you lightheaded? Do you feel pain? Are you unsteady on your feet? That's what I want to see. I want to see what you are like in those moments after you get the shot. Now, we already seen a nurse faint on camera. And, and they've been spending all their time trying to tell us it didn't come from the shot. It came from something else, and nobody is buying that. But this is what they're trying to do. And y'all, let me just tell you something. These employers will demand that you get these vaccines. I mean, they're already saying things like they're going to squeeze out unvaccinated employees from the workplace. And this came from the EEOC. So it is sooner or later. Now, remember, it's emergency use now, but they're going to try to get it out to the population later in, they said it could be as far as July. But once they do that, yeah, you damn skippy, these employers are going to start putting their foot down about people getting vaccines. But you have to decide what's right for you. Is your job worth you getting the vaccine? There's some people, look, all week long, we have been hearing about people having an adverse reaction to the vaccine. And you still got people saying, I see that, but I'm going to get it anyway. Well, that's on them. That's their life and their business. That's the way I see it. But I stand firm on what I told you. I don't want that shot. I don't want it, And for me, I would not be eligible for it anyway. I do have a pre-existing condition that's on their list. But some people, I have allergic reactions to certain things, but that might not be everyone. So how bad do you want your job? How bad do you want your children in school? You have to decide that. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.